Right. All right, ready?
Yep.
I wish I had a taller chair. Like that would be perfect.
Right. I wish I had I want a setup where I can do stuff. I want to go sit at my counter. I should though.
If you want to, go ahead.
Yeah. Let me switch it up. Hopefully my background scenery looks a little better.
All right.
I never sit in my living room.
Me either. I came back to the crib. I forgot that we ordered a rug and a new TV stand. I was in my house. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, we did.
This is probably why I never sit in here, because I don't know where the light's at. Like, how do you turn them off? Dang it. Well, I'll turn on these three. Might as well turn them on. Shit. We got bill money. Damn. Well, this is probably the main reason why I don't sit there. That's all I got in my living room.
All right, and welcome back to another edition of the Perspective Podcast, Sports Edition, Basketball Edition in particular. I got my co-host here tonight with me, Tevin. Tevin, what it do?
Look, man.
Another day, man. Another day. A good day I'm thankful for real.
Yes, sir. Always.
Yeah. What's going on out your way?
Work. Finishing up the school stuff though, so that's the good part though, man.
Home stretch.
And, yes, sir. What I got, like 2 weeks left?
Oh man, it's gonna go quick. It's gonna go by quick. Yeah, dog. So tonight we're gonna start off with a little bit of NCAA tournament. Just a little bit of NCAA tourney news, and then we'll work our way into NBA topics. And so Baylor Bears, champions of the NCAA for men, and they ended up beating Gonzaga in the final game of the season. The Final Four was held in Indianapolis this year. The Final Four, it was Gonzaga, Baylor, UCLA, and
I'm trying to think the word. UCLA and Gonzaga beat UCLA. Baylor beat Houston.
Baylor beat Houston. That's what it was.
USC. What did USC?
It was Houston. Houston was in the Final Four. Baylor beat Houston. Gonzaga beat UCLA. That's what happened.
UCLA.
Yeah, that.
I know I had got 3 out of 4 right. I couldn't think of them.
Did you you did like how many brackets did you do? Like you did a bunch of brackets, or you did just a handful?
I did this year. I only did 3.
Yeah,
I did 3, and on 2 I got 3 out of 4, and then the other one I got I think 2 out of 4. But I had LSU winning that one. You know, I had to rep for the.
I'm not mad.
Home.
I'm not mad. LSU had a squad this year. You know what I mean? And I think. Go ahead.
They should have beat UCLA. Like that ain't make no sense for them not to beat them, but you know it is what it is. It is what it is. But they should have beat UCLA. Ain't no way they ain't had their best player. I'm like, come on, bro. Yeah.
I think
got too much NBA talent.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. If LSU doesn't like unload all their talent, if all their talent doesn't go to the league, good pieces will be back. You know what I'm saying? So I think LSU they'll be back as long as Will Wade just relax. You know what I'm saying? As long as he can continue to be a coach, they'll be all right. But we'll be dibbling and dabbling. I'm just say that.
Big bag Will. That's all I got to say.
Money bag Will. But so Baylor, they ended up being the NCAA champs. The game was pretty much just a blowout. You could just kind of tell just on the court, Gonzaga didn't have much. Like they just couldn't match Baylor's grit. So Baylor ended up taking it home. Champions they are, and I believe their coach has been there like 18 years or something like that. So salute to him getting it done. And Baylor salutes a lot out of recruits a lot out of Louisiana. So salute to them and for getting the job done. And so last time we spoke to everybody, it was right before All-Star, and we kind of had our like our All-Star picks and things of that nature, like and who should be on, who should be left off, XYZ. And so just a brief recap. 3-point skills competition and the game. Steph Curry came back and Mike Conley shot lights out. That might be the first time I've seen Mike Conley shoot like that ever. But he did his thing. But the human flamethrower, Steph Curry stepped on the floor, did what he had to do, took the championship home again. Skills competition, a big man held it down, which is weird. But I think that's kind of like, I think that's a salute to Draymond. You know what I mean? Like seeing a big man being able to kind of like do a lot. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of seeing the game evolve a little bit. We're seeing quote unquote big men, even though there's not like a lot of 7-footers besides like, you know, like your outliers, KD, Joker, Giannis, Embiid. Besides those kind of guys, a skills guy actually winning the skills, big man winning the skills competition, major. So I think that's an evolution to the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe Sabonis won, if I'm correct. But
yeah, he won. Yeah, I think it was Sabonis.
Yeah, so that's just a salute to the game, how the game has evolved. That used to be a guard thing. You know what I mean? There used to be a pencil a guard in to win that. But salute to Sabonis. And what did you think about the game?
The game, I liked it only because I liked it because of the shooting display that we got to see with Steph and Dame. That's always good to see. And also people, you know, look like they belong. Like it ain't look like nobody was too out of place. Like it ain't have no super duper stars and no like people that's like, oh, like I don't think he should have made it. Now like everybody looked like they should have been there. That's another thing I liked about it. And I like that LeBron and them they didn't say much about it, but they kept quiet. So they like kept quiet and they just went on ahead and played their little minutes. They ain't played that long, but I'm like, it's still good to see them out there because that's what you want to see. It's still a big name, at least while they can still do it. Yeah. And you know, it's just a homage from the fans to them. Like, hey, we still think you one of the best players in the league, even though it's year or whatever. Like to get voted in the All-Star, like that should be looked at as an honor instead of looking at like an obligation.
Yeah.
You know.
Because I definitely thought. Go ahead. No, I definitely. We had. It was just a good game. Yeah, and we definitely had that conversation where we thought like the players were going to revolt, in a sense, where kind of like, no, like I'm not going to do the All-Star game, and they just kind of walk off the floor because shortened season, coming out of the bubble, things of that nature, but they didn't. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It was good to see the All-Star and just to see All-Star weekend condensed in one day. I actually liked it, like everything being condensed into one day. You had skills, 3-point, dunk contest, and the game itself. But the dunk contest was at halftime, if I remember correctly. And I think that kind of that condensed a lot of it. Because in years past we saw dunk attempt after dunk attempt after dunk attempt, and it was like, bro, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? But for the group that came out there, they did what they had to do. I saluted, and I liked everything being on one day. So how'd you feel about All-Star?
Yeah, when you look back at it, just being one day, it's something now that can just be a one-day event. It don't have to be the entire weekend because like the dunk contest went kind of down, and 3-point contest, like it's really not that long. It just depends on how many shooters you got in there. So you can always condense that down to have that moment before the All-Star game, just like if you had skills competition, then you have the 3-point, and then slide the dunk contest in there during halftime just for some more little entertainment, pretty much. And They only had what? How many dunkers they had? Was it 3 or 4?
It was like
only 3.
I think it was like 3. But it went by fast. Like no, it
right,
was
because
full. It was I don't even remember everybody that
Toppins.
Toppin.
Right, it was Toppin, Simons, my boy that should have won the Cassius, and well, he should have been in the finals, and that might have been it. It might have just been 3.
Yeah, but it was the Cassius is the cat from Indiana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cassius, Toppin. I actually picked Toppin to win it, but he went out early. But
you picked against the Trailblazers. Come on, man. Come on, man. You gotta know better than that. We only lose in the finals. That's the only time we're gonna lose.
That's the only time.
Conference finals or NBA finals. So don't pick us.
Any other time, cash money.
Oh yeah, we good for that.
But I definitely did enjoy everything just being condensed down into one day, and then that just kind of moves us from All-Star into the trade deadline. And deadline, it was action, but it wasn't as much action as I think we were looking for, in a sense. Yeah. Just to kind of like a brief rundown of what I have. We got Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets, JaVale McGee to the Nuggets, Trent Jr. to the Raptors, Norman Powell to the Blazers, and pretty much a straight up swap. We'll get into that in a second. Rondo from the Will. My guy Bucci Maine to the Bulls.
Y'all got y'all a player.
Big Boo.
Y'all got a hooper now.
Yeah, we got Big Boo. What I didn't like, and now real quick, this is gonna be real quick. He had 32 and 17 sometime last week, then turned around and had like 12 and 9 the very next night. I'm like, dog, like, don't put me through that. But anyway, we got Big Boo. Victor Oladipo to the Heat. I like that a lot. Trevor Ariza to the Heat. PJ Tucker to the Bucks. George Hill to the Sixers. Torrey Craig to the Suns. Derrick Rose to the Knicks. Kevin Porter Jr. to the Rockets. And I think that's going to be a big thing for the Rockets in their future. So first we'll start with your team. We'll start with the Blazers, and we'll start with the Blazers and the Raptors. Norman Powell goes to the Raptors. Norman Powell goes to the Blazers, and Trent Jr. goes to the Raptors. What you think? What are your thoughts?
He came in, dropped 22 the first night, so we got a score off the bench. But Trent Jr. was 1-2, but I think they just like Norman's, I would say, aggressiveness, offensively and defensively, because I think he brings a different element than Trent Jr. Or at least right now, because he's younger, and I feel like he kind of in that he play kind of pretty. He play kind of pretty. He don't like to get a little physical, but you need somebody like Norman who can come in and get physical with them guards, especially the West. All the guards you got to go through, and then that gives CJ and Dame a break. And also, he can, even though he primarily off the ball, he can do some stuff with the ball in his hands if you give it to him. So he ain't just a little one trick pony on offense. He can make some stuff happen offensively too. So I like him for us. I ain't want to give up Trent Jr. because of the shooting that he brings, but Norman can shoot it too. He's been shooting real good this year at least. So I like the addition. I wasn't too hurt by it because I was like, I really didn't see Trent Jr. in their future plans as far as like he's gonna be somebody that's gonna average around 20 points a game. So I'm like, you can always, if somebody gonna average like 15, 12, you can find NBA players to do that. But but that defensive pressure that they need to go against some guards in the West, they know they needed that and they addressed it. And so I'm happy with it. I'm just ready for the playoffs so we get the right matchup so we can make it to the second round.
Right. Yeah, that's a fact. And so, but I do like, you know what I'm saying? I do like Norman Powell. You know what I mean? Like for the Raptors championship year, he was an underrated piece for them. You know what I mean?
Right. He was there. Yeah, he was like their 5th best player.
Yeah, he did what he had to do. You know what I mean? Right. And he's just taking that confidence. It's just going up a few notches. So I do like that. I do like the fact that he is in the mix. I do like the fact that he's on a winning team. I rock with the Blazers, so I like that pickup. Another big trade there Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets. I think that may have been the headline of trade deadline. We know JaVale McGee to the Nuggets. That's just another body, just to control the paint.
Yeah.
So we know what that one is. So we're not going to spend too much time on that one. But Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets. Break that one down.
He adds what Paul Millsap doesn't have no more: athleticism. Millsap can't jump like how he used to before the age kicked in. Like young Millsap, I love because he was, the energy, the athleticism. He can do multiple things around the rim, and like he could always stretch. He could stretch the floor. He always improved his game. That's one thing I liked about Millsap. He got better every year when he was, physically able to. So since he can't do all that jumping no more, they need somebody. And that team young. They already young, so they need like people who can get up and down that court, especially with Jokic too, getting the rebounds and the outlet passes, Murray with the outlets, and Michael Porter running. They want to start. We got to run and get up and down this court. So Aaron Gordon feels that need at the power forward, and he can stretch the floor too. So it ain't, and he likes to cut and dunk, so you can run them off all them cuts with Jokic and Murray and do all that extra other stuff. So it's interesting to see the element that he gonna bring, and that also puts Millsap on the bench too. So now you got a reliable bench player now, like somebody who can, if you need him to, he can come in and get you some points and play good post defense on certain players. So and he a vet too.
Yeah.
So that adds another element to them. And you see what they did the last 10 games. I think they done won 8 of the last 10 since he didn't got with them. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're scoring and picked up because they got an athlete that can run now.
They up and down the floor.
Right, and then that mismatch that opened up the space to floor. Porter Jr. He like going one-on-one anyway. So shoot, you give him more space. That's work. You getting that work with him from him and Murray. They about to work you one-on-one. So shoot, they gonna do some. I'm looking for them to do something in the playoffs. At least they gonna get to pass whoever in the first round unless they run into us. We gonna beat them. Yeah. But anybody else, they gonna take them down. But I like the Aaron Gordon move.
Yeah, I definitely like Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets as well because it's the first thing that I noticed whenever you watch the Nuggets now, like they kind of looked a little slow with the point center Joker running the thing, but now you insert Aaron Gordon. It's like supreme athleticism all over the floor now.
Right.
And Joker may not be the most athletic, meaning like moving, but what he does with the ball and how he sees things before they happen, like point guard mentality. The Nuggets are scary. But we'll get into their standings and whatnot later on. But I do like that move by the Nuggets, and so. Aaron Gordon, JaVale McGee, Trent and Powell swap. Rondo for Lemon Pepper Lou Will. I like that a lot for the Clippers because once again, playoff Rondo. Playoff Rondo was a member of the Bulls, and so we saw what he did with us, and so I know what he can do.
Yeah.
We saw what Rondo did last year with the Lakers. We've seen Rondo has a resume for a reason. And swapping out Lou Will for Rondo, I love it. I think that puts the Clippers at a better space than having Patrick Beverley on the floor in clutch moments, because Rondo's not really going to shoot unless he's absolutely by himself. But boys can leave Pat Bev by himself, and he's just not confident in shooting it at all. So you know what I mean. And I give the check mark to Rondo because either he's going to make the right pass or he's going to pass somebody. He's going to pass somebody open. He's just going to make the right decision. I trust Rondo, so I love that for the Clippers. What you think?
I don't want to.
You don't like it?
Since it's my Lakers bias coming in. Since I do like the Lakers and I like LeBron and the Lakers. I don't want to see him do good, but I know what he's capable of. And I saw him doing some of it the other night when he was making plays against Phoenix. Yeah, against Phoenix at the end of the game, he was making them winning plays. And I'm like, bro, like he gonna always be doing this. Like at 35 or however old he is, he was still making those smart right plays. And then like you said with getting Patrick Beverly off the floor, that's a plus for them. Like that helps them. Like that's a plus getting them off the floor.
Yeah.
Like I never seen a team get better with the starter gone. That's not
crazy.
supposed to happen.
That's crazy, right?
Like he got kicked out the game and they started killing what you call it. I mean, started killing the Suns. And I'm like, you see, that's why he shouldn't be in the league, period. But that's another topic. But yeah, so Rondo, he bring that leadership and he puts people in their place. Yeah. So Kawhi don't have to be a point. Kawhi ain't got to try to be this LeBron or Kevin Durant type playmaker. And Paul George can play off the ball, do whatever he does off the ball. They don't have to be the ones. The offense is so centered around with Rondo out there. He can make other stuff happen for them and other people, and also for himself too. If he wants to, he can still be getting to that lane somehow, to that rim. So that's what he brings. He puts people in a right place, and he can get them the ball in a right place. He ain't gonna be letting when the offense, how you see how the Clippers offense will get like out of whack, like they'll end up running some type of Marcus Morris post up or Kawhi trying to do something off the dribble, then just shoot a three. I'm like, that's not y'all game. And Rondo, when he on the court, he knows that, look, he's a very intelligent player. So he knows, like, all right, this is what we need to do on this set. This is what I want you to get the ball. This is what we're going to do to be most effective. And yeah, man, it's just them winning intangibles that he's going to bring to that losing organization. That's what I'm concerned about. But he do get hurt a lot. That's the main thing that's the main concern with it. But we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how it plays out. But I you're definitely right. I think it is more so of a plus than what it is a negative for the Clippers. So, but the Clippers, they got to figure some other things out too, because I definitely saw the Pelicans smack them around on a Sunday before. So with PG and Kawhi both playing. So that's some of the things that they got to figure out too. And so then from Rondo and Lou Will, shout out to Lou Will. I rock with you, 6-man. But I just hate that they shipped you to Atlanta. But that's just how the business works.
We hate him, but he love it.
Yeah. I think Lou.
We know where he going.
The Willville weekend, either this summer or next summer, it's gonna be crazy. And
wait,
then
he got his own weekend?
Yeah, Lou has his own weekend. Because he's from Atlanta or something like that.
Oh yeah, he is from Georgia. Okay,
yeah. He's from Georgia, and like he holds down like I think it's like a Thursday through Sunday. He does like this whole thing, like it's event after event after event, and it's parties and everything you can imagine. Everything that you can imagine Atlanta, Georgia to be, Lou Will definitely provides. we'll leave it at that.
Right.
So then that brings us to Vic from the Rockets. Well, from the Pacers to the Rockets to the Heat. Victor Oladipo is now a member of the Miami Heat, and so that upgrades their team a lot. I like how it sounds. I do have to see the Heat play a bit more. The Heat, they're actually playing against Portland right now. Am I right? I think they're playing I think they're playing against Portland tonight. But I do like how Vic is. He's just a scorer. He does look healthy. In the Rockets uniform, he looked a little limpish, but I understand why. Nobody really wants to be a part of that Rockets organization right now for a few different reasons. Side note, a lot of people here in Houston are trying to make their way up out of here. A lot of those pro athletes, but that may be something else to discuss further down the line, and just to keep an eye on. So thoughts on Vic?
I don't know if you know my feelings. Oladipo, I think his best days behind him.
Really?
Yeah. Once you start bouncing around and that many teams, it's something going on. I don't think it's personally, I think it's physically. Like I think his body, I don't know what the injuries he had, I think they're just too bad for him to bounce back from that athleticism. That even though he did throw down a nasty dunk the other day, but because he's out now. indefinitely. He got a right knee injury again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he just went out yesterday. So I was like, he gets hurt too much, so I don't think it's kind of stunning his development, even though he got to a level when he got to OKC. Like, once he got hurt, he started bouncing around from here to there to there. And I'm like, once you bounce around that much, like, it takes away, personally, some of your confidence. And also, I think he don't kind of fit to me to what Miami's trying to do.
You don't. But I do like the fact that he's a scorer. So go ahead.
Yeah, because I think he kind of stops the ball. Like what we saw in Houston, like he was just out there, he was being a ball stopper pretty much. Even though Houston is out of whack, he ain't fit in with them. Indiana, he couldn't fit in when he came back. OKC with Westbrook, he didn't fit in when he left. He was good, but I don't see Victor Oladipo being a difference maker for nobody. That's me personally. From what I think about him, when people say Oladipo, I'm like, okay, he kind of get lost in the shuffle with me. I think there's way more players that's, just passed them up now, and mainly because of them injuries.
Yeah,
he's gonna get overlooked and passed up.
Injuries definitely have slowed him down too. And I'm gonna be honest, I forgot all about that OKC stop. I really did. I forgot all about that little hide.
I didn't, because I thought he forgot how to play basketball when he got there. I was like, man, this is terrible.
Yeah, that might
but he shook back once he got traded. He shook back once Westbrook left, though. Or did he leave first?
Russ left first.
I think
Russ was in Houston last year. Last year is so like choppy because of how from the Raptors championship to the bubble starting, the season stopping due to COVID, to the bubble ending, like it's all like a blur. Like it's all a blur.
No, Oladipo left first because Paul George had got there. They pretty much swapped them. They swapped them out. And then it was with Indiana, he started showing stuff. Then he got hurt again. Then Brogdon took over, and then he came back and he couldn't fit. And then he got passed around to here. Then got passed around to there.
Yeah, Vicky that is a handful of teams because he's played on the Magic, the Pacers, the Thunder, the Rockets, the Heat. He has been in a few different stops. You're definitely right, and those injuries may be something to kind of look further into as well. But I don't think Vic is a solid number 2. I look at him as more like a number 3 or 4 option. Somebody that can give you 25, let's say 25, let's max him at 25. But even if he contributes 18, 15 points, it's still a plus for the team. So
he shouldn't be one of the guys that you're relying on.
Yeah, right.
Like you shouldn't be relying on him to be that absolute second or third scorer. But if he happens to be, I mean, that's a bonus. But you should want him, somebody like him, to be a good role player. Speaking of the Heat, they are killing the. We down 20 in the fourth quarter. But yeah, they do. They look like they fine without him. To me, they beat Portland without him.
The Heat are right back. And earlier tonight, I saw Dame wearing a headband. I don't know what's going on with that, but Dame has a headband on tonight. Like I'm not understanding. So, but Dame definitely had a headband on tonight. That was weird. But
it's not 2002, Dame.
It's facts. And then the Rockets, continuing with the Rockets, just internal implosion. They've sent PJ Tucker from Houston to the Bucks, and I don't see how that really makes sense. You know what I mean?
From Milwaukee or Houston?
From Milwaukee. I know Houston is just on a fire sale, so I don't understand how that makes sense for anybody on the floor, because I have my thoughts about Giannis. I think I talked about it last time, but how does that really help Milwaukee, especially in the East?
He brings somebody that can help guard Kevin Durant, maybe.
That is a body. It's a body you can throw.
And guard Durant, help throw at Durant, Ben, and Jason when y'all run into one of them teams. That's what I say.
Did you say Jason Tatum?
Yeah.
All right.
What? He had 50.
Okay. Okay.
It's not. I watch a lot of Celtics games. It's not him. It's the coach. It's more. I'm putting it's brand more
Okay.
than it's Jason.
It might be both. It might be both. You know what I'm saying? But something's wrong with that Celtic team. Something's definitely wrong with that Celtics team. And Marcus Smart missing is. I'm not impressed by them.
Yeah, I've been trying to look into what's been the issue. I watch a lot of their games randomly for some reason. Probably because I like Jaylen Brown and Tatum as a combo. Yeah, but I think I kind of figured it out. It's more of the coach than it is the players.
My hot take is the Celtics are not going to get it done with Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum together. They're not going to get it done with both of them too. One of them has to go in order for both of them to ascend. I think you send Jaylen Brown to the Hawks, I think things kind of change. However, that's something that we can get into later on. But I think them two together, that's just not going to work out. But PJ Tucker being a body against KD, Ben Simmons, Embiid, maybe. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Just everybody in the East. I mean, I guess. But I mean, once again, just like the same thing with the Bucks, the Celtics, fool's gold to me. It really is fool's gold. I don't trust them. I don't see the up and up for either one of those teams. But hey, more will be revealed. Let's leave it there. More will be revealed. George Hill to the Sixers. That's just another body off the bench to kind of aid with Ben Simmons, because the Sixers did not land Kyle Lowry like everybody thought. And Torrey Craig to the Suns. That's just another score off the bench. Maybe just like you said, about 12 points at the most. That's just another body. Derrick Rose to the Knicks.
He scored 12. That might be his season high.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying with Torrey Craig. Yeah, that's for sure. But Derrick Rose to the Knicks. I just love Derrick Rose news because Derrick Rose may be the biggest what if in the last 20 years of basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I just love Derrick Rose news. And then Kevin Porter to the Rockets. Like I said, that's something for their future. So that's that with that. Did you have anything else for the trade deadline?
I like the fact that even though he's old, that the Mavs got ready.
They did pick up JJ and Melly.
I like the fact that they got ready because I think like you put them out there with Luka, that gives them that spacing and that shooter that they need desperately on the wing. Like him and Luka in the backcourt together trying to guard somebody. That's barbecue. That's fried chicken, not barbecue. That's a good fried chicken.
Fried chicken alert.
Yeah. So that ain't gonna happen. They ain't gonna be on the court together that long, but when they are, I think it's gonna be real effective. Them two and Porzingis, like they're gonna be putting up some points and making some matchup nightmares against whoever they play. If they are they in the playoffs? I think they. Let's see. Yes, they are. So, they're in the 7th seed, so they're in the playing game right as of now. But if they make the playoffs, that's gonna be interesting against one of the top teams. And I think that's a lot. That's some bad matchups for Porzingis and Luka. Bad matchup for anybody.
Yeah, that puts them in the first round matchup with the Clippers at the moment. And we saw what happened in the bubble.
Yeah, we saw what happened.
so to be determined. And I don't. Is there anything else with the trades? I think from that point it's really just buyouts, right?
Yeah, because Evan Fournier to the Celtics, but he hurt already, so I ain't worried about that.
Yeah, Big Voo to the Bulls.
Oh yeah, Big Voo! Shout out to the Big Voo and the Bulls. Y'all stole a player. Y'all stole an all-star.
We definitely did.
For players y'all didn't want.
Zach made that happen at All-Star break. He had that conversation with Big Voo. He said, "Yo, I'll let your boys know. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and tell them to send you up north. You know what I'm saying? We could pick and roll game. Could be,
That's a nice, solid 2-player foundation for the next 2-3 years, however long Levine decides to stay.
3. I'll give it 3. Hoping, fingers crossed. rabbit's foot or tail, whatever the lucky thing is, like in the back pocket, like everything. But I do
Hey,
like the
y'all
move.
look. Hey, y'all time coming. Y'all time coming. It's been when Jordan left 99, 98, 99,
Fingers crossed.
98, so it was 20.
I
Almost 25 around year 25. That's when the team started, getting back up.
I have hope. I have hope. It's not a lot, but I have hope. You know what I'm saying? Like,
keep hope alive.
yes, yes, we
Words of the
can.
great Jesse Jackson. Or was that? It was Jesse or Al. One of them. Oh, one of them black people. I don't know.
One of those legends. And so
yeah, one of those old black people.
and then so for the buyout market, the buyout list, that brings us to Jeff Teague to the Bucks. I don't think that does much, but I hate on the Bucks per usual, so that does bit of nothing. LaMarcus Aldridge to the Nets, Blake Griffin to the Nets, and all of a sudden he can dunk again. So
Right.
let's go ahead and break down the LaMarcus Aldridge thing, because I felt like he was going to go back to Portland, but he's ring chasing, so he ended up in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. That's all he doing is ring chasing, and Brooklyn, I think they're gonna have that issue though. They lost to the Lakers the other day. The Lakers they had nobody, but I just want to see them all play together. Just the three main people, Durant, Kyrie, and Kevin. I want to see them play together, but I don't like when you start playing when you start playing too many people. Like, because I'm seeing too many people get PT. I'm like, hold on, we can't be putting 13, 14 people out on the floor per game. Like, y'all playing 6 people at the same position. Like, all they bigs, like, they're trying to play Aldridge some and Griffin some, and then we got to throw Jeff Green in there to play. We got this new kid, Claxton. I think that's his name. We trying to throw him out there.
Haven't seen DeAndre Drummond. DeAndre Jordan in a couple weeks.
Oh, I forgot about DeAndre Jordan. We got him. We trying to throw out there a little bit. I'm like, y'all trying to play too many people, and then y'all best lineup is probably it's probably Harden, Kyrie, Durant, Joe Harris, and one of them 6 or 7 people I named. Like, one of them, I don't know which one. I know it ain't LaMarcus because he ain't got it no more.
Right.
We saw he got worked by Drummond last night. So so he ain't got it. It ain't him. So who you throwing? You putting Blake out there? You can't put him out there against Embiid. So you gotta throw DeAndre out there, but
he can't move like that.
Yeah, and Embiid just don't take him outside. So I don't know, but when them 3 come back, that's when you can totally say. But I just don't want them to get because this Steve Nash first year. We put a lot on him trying to put all these old stars together. I don't want people.
He knew what he was getting into.
He did, but he didn't know I'm about to be coaching all these former all-stars who I don't know if any of them still got an ego. We don't know. We don't know that. We don't know if Blake still think he can hoop for real. We don't know if what DeAndre really his role trying to be. It got young people who still on the team, like Brown. He trying to prove himself that he worthy of getting a bigger payday with people. Kyrie, you got Kyrie and James Harden. Kyrie missing games because he's going.
You don't feel like it.
I think he might be, he's dealing with some stuff, but he's gonna be all right. Once he get all that, stuff situated to pass him. Harden hurt. Durant is like on playing sometimes right now. So they're a big question mark. But on paper, they good. But I just want to see them put it together a solid rotation that's dependable on the floor.
I don't think their full team has been together maybe since January, maybe Martin Luther King Day. And that's a stretch. And James Harden may have gotten James Harden. I believe he got traded on like the 14th of January or something like that. But at that same time, Kyrie was out. So I don't think their entire team has been together. And then KD got hurt in February. So
right. And now KD back. Everybody back, and now Harden.
Yeah, James has a hamstring injury. So
he's gone for a week and a half.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it with the buyout market, and then Andre Drummond to the Lakers. That's I don't know. him and AD together. Ooh.
LeBron ain't
Ooh.
no defense, ain't no rebound.
Ain't nobody going in the paint.
Y'all ain't getting no rebounds with them three.
Well, you thought
if they get out rebounded, that's sad.
that's an effort thing.
Yeah, if they get out rebounded. Because he brings everything that Marc Gasol can't do no more. And I thought Marc ain't got it no more. It went fast.
It went fast.
Last year was it went real fast. Last year he was going down, but I was like, okay. I'm like, maybe, it's just, he going through a little thing, but nah, he down. It's over.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over. It happened so fast, bro. I had big hope for Marc.
Yeah.
Man,
I think that's pretty much it. But I mean, we talked about how Steven Adams and Zion, that would be a sore morning the following night. But Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Andre Drummond, and then the other Morris brothers.
Then Trez coming off the bench, just jumping at you.
Then Trez just dunking like he in high school, just swinging on the rim, like then you got the other Morris brother, the other Morris twin out there. He just a goon on the court. You know what I'm saying? He just security. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. He just physical. That's all he is.
Yeah, he just holding the section down. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I mean, hey, that's I think you see the Lakers going defense heavy. I think that's going to be their thing. Going forward, I don't think they're gonna try and like outgun anybody this year, just strictly because they don't have the pieces. So I think they're going defensive heavy for the remaining 20 games, about 20 games or so to go, and then playoffs and beyond. And then so that brings us to a dark spot in our game, which is the hate that Jeremy Lin was getting. Do you have any of that info pulled up? Because I mean, we can either get into Jeremy Lin, or we can go Miles Leonard first.
Oh man, let's start with Jeremy Lin, so we can end on not a high note, but a more
satisfying result.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. So over the course of American history, we do know that there has always been some type of prejudice against other people that are not, let's just say other minorities, Black folk, Asians, Hispanic folks, Muslims, well, not Muslims, but just Middle Eastern natives, and so on. Jeremy Lin was not, he was not spared. He was evidently during the G League, his stint in the G League, he was called like coronavirus, amongst other Asian degrading terms that were aimed directly at him, not just as a fan, like somebody going at him crazy on social media, which people are nuts and they're doing that, but people are actually saying those things to him in the stands, in the middle of games. And so Jeremy Lin kind of spoke out against this, and that's shed a lot of light on that's actually helped, bring about awareness of Asian hate that goes on here in America. And so you have anything pulled up over there about it?
Yeah, just pretty much just talking about Lin, just talking about like his experience that he's had since this coronavirus thing. Like that's when it really has like really picked up for him. He trying to get back into the league, but he like, man, like it's a lot of stuff going on that's, I guess, affecting him mentally, and emotionally, but due to this coronavirus, not just from the fans, or that he's hearing it, like he's hearing it from the fans. He heard it from the president with his China virus statements. He's hearing it from other players on the court. So yeah, man, that's any type of racism or prejudiceness, there's no room for any of that. And I think the game, I don't know, I'm pretty sure Adam spoke on it. I haven't heard it, but I'm pretty sure he spoke out against it. But it's good that players, like I know Lillard like supported him. He wore the Stop Asian Hate t-shirt. He said it a few times and spoke out against it. So that's good that his fellow, I guess you can call them co-workers, or his NBA community is like coming around him, in his time. Because if that was somebody doing that to one of people that look like us, we would want that same support from the people, that's around that we work with too. So yeah, as long as the NBA addresses it and as long as the actions that are supposed to be taken, like people get thrown out of games, people getting suspended, getting cut from teams, like I mean, that's what's supposed to happen. Treat other people how you want to be treated. So if if you call them a slur and they call you a slur, what you gonna do?
It's facts.
You know what I'm saying? You can't. So they can't get mad at somebody for like Jeremy Lin just for pretty much standing up for himself.
Yeah.
And speaking out for community, especially Asian Americans, there's not many of him in the league. So somebody has to do it for them. And so I'm just glad that that his fellow comrades have come to his aid. And there's no need for that in the game.
Yeah, none at all. Like that's definitely not a space in our game. And that's the thing that's two things. Like hip hop, rap culture, whatever you want to call it, and the NBA. Those are is heavily dominated by Black people, and we welcome everybody into those circles. You know what I'm saying? And whenever Asian people come into those circles, whether it be basketball, hip hop, whatever the case may be, it's not many people to speak for them. So therefore, I'm glad Jeremy Lin is speaking up. You know what I'm saying? Just letting it be known, bringing awareness to it. So salute to Jeremy Lin. Let's just end all hate across the board. Black, Hispanic, Middle Eastern descent, just Hispanic culture, just anybody. Let's just end all hate. And if you know somebody that is extremely hating like that, make sure you tell them to like stop all the hating. Like it's not getting you too far. You know what I'm saying? So, which brings us to another case of hate. This is Myers Leonard, former member of the Miami Heat. Last that I heard,
he might be a former NBA player now. I think he got cut from his last team too that he got traded to.
Yeah, I think Myers Leonard, I think he did get cut from the Thunder. He was traded to the Thunder after some comments that he made. He had some anti-Jewish. He made an anti-Jewish slur. Well, he made a Jewish slur, and on his Twitch while he was gaming online. That's why and once again, side note, athletes, people, public figures, you have to be careful of what you do, what you say. It's thousands of people watching at minimum. It's at minimum, it's hundreds of people watching. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to be careful of what you said. Nonetheless, Leonard, he said some things. He made a slur. And while he was a member of the Miami Heat, that is a hate slur toward Jewish people. The owner of the Miami Heat, Mickey Arison, is Jewish. So you can imagine in the Heat, the owner of Mickey Arison's household, it did not go over well. I think within about 48 hours, he was on a plane to Oklahoma City, where there's absolutely nothing to do in Oklahoma City or in Utah. They could have sent him to either place, and I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
They were sending him somewhere. They was gonna send him somewhere he didn't want to be.
Right. So, you go from being on a finals team. Yes, it was the bubble, but you were a part of a finals team. Then you go to pretty much just being out of the league, because I don't see any type of news or stats about him.
Wikipedia reported that he's a free agent. He's a free agent, power forward center now.
And as I'm looking at NBA stats, he has no stats, and this goes back to March 4th. So I think justice was served here. I do know, and also Adam Silver, he is Jewish as well. That is the commissioner of the NBA. So that did not go over well with him either. So salute to the NBA for getting him the fuck up out of here. For the most part, salute to the NBA for getting it done. And I'm gonna be honest, I do enjoy whenever it's I have to word this carefully. I do enjoy whenever it is somebody that does not look like us does something wrong, and the same people that look like him handle him. So
Right.
I definitely do enjoy that. So salute to Adam Silver, salute to Mickey Harrison, Miles Leonard, you fucked up. And
big time, buddy. I
so,
know. So how could you be so dumb? You cut your bag so bad. I'm like, bro, your owner's Jewish. All because, and then I'm like, that's so. And then like we was talking earlier, like that's a word I never heard that word until a couple years ago when the famous person got in trouble for saying it. I didn't know they had a slur or whatever. So I'm like, what? Who did you grow up around?
that hates Jewish people.
Right, that uses that word because I'm like, I didn't hear that, and I've never heard that in none of my circles. Nobody I've been around, we went to school with all races.
Yeah,
I ain't never heard that uttered, but it's just good to see that, bro. The video was so funny. If people ain't watching, they got to go watch the video when he did it, how fast he got that phone call, and how bad he wanted to cry on stream and lied and said, "Oh, my wife calling me. I'm about to go. I'll be back."
Why?
You ain't coming. First of all, that ain't your wife. Second of all, you ain't coming back, partner. Ain't no back.
Ain't none
you
of
about
that.
to go. You about to go pack. That's the only thing you about to go do. Cause you about to get up out of here. So yeah, man. Salute to the NBA for making all that happen. But man, that video is so funny. I watched it at least 5 times.
But I still haven't seen it. But just understanding the whole thing, what happened. That's enough for me. I don't even need to hear it. But I can imagine he tried to backpedal, and I think he released some type of bullshit statement that his PR team put together. But hey, that's on them. The NBA did what they had to do. On to the next, and let that be. You know what I'm saying? Like just you want an example? Miles Leonard is your example.
Right.
So
yeah, all you borderline NBA players, you can't mess up. Yeah, ain't no room for you to mess up. The big names, we forget them, but you borderline people, I don't want to hear nothing from you.
Yep. If you're not 7th man off the bench, 8th man off the bench, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope from what you say on social media to even playing your Xbox.
Right.
Like.
Right.
So yeah, salute to the NBA. They definitely got the job done there. And moving on to the last time we did this, we did a awards update, and this was right before the All-Star break. And so of course the awards that we're referring to is Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man, and Most Improved Player. You got your list up?
I don't have my list, but I got my answers ready.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and take this over first, and we'll start with Coach of the Year. Who you got?
Coach of the Year. Oh, I got Doc.
Okay.
Philly. I got Doc because Philly is playing up to their potential of what their talent is. They look better offensively. You ain't heard no Embiid Simmons beef like you was hearing the last 5 years. You ain't heard none of that. They still in first place, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I think they still in first place.
They're still first.
Okay, yeah, still in first place in the East. I like what I see when I'm watching them. Tobias Harris back hooping too. I like that. So I got Doc. He impressed me, So I got Doc as my coach of the year.
All right. Rookie of the Year. Anything changed? Because last time you had LaMelo Ball, he broke his wrist, and I was changing my pick. I was going LaMelo, and then he broke his wrist, and so I was like, all right. And so last time it was LaMelo Ball. Who we got now?
My rookie of the year is still LaMelo Ball, but it's gonna be either my boy from Minnesota,
Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Anthony.
It's gonna either be come down to him or who else? What's the other one we was arguing about?
My pick is Tyrese
Halliburton.
Yeah, that was my pick.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to one of them. It's gonna come down to one of them two now. Even though, man, I hate LaMelo got hurt. That was my pick.
He was really
Hey,
getting
with
it
my
together,
picture.
and he got into the starting lineup. Like he was really getting into the full swing of things.
Right.
But we definitely
Yeah,
do.
but Halliburton and
Anthony.
I think Ant's gonna win it because he got the highlights. All them dunks he done did on people and the moves he done put on people. I think that's what's caught people out because Halliburton having a great year, but nobody really checking him for Sacramento because he's not flashy in Sacramento. You know, they kind of floating at the bottom of the West. Even though Minnesota last, but shoot, he got the highlights. Once you be on SportsCenter so much, people gonna assume that you just,
You that
people
dude.
just gonna assume, that you giving people the business.
Mm-hmm.
So he gonna take that.
That's a fact. That's I'm sitting here and I'm pulling up, and so those were, and so pretty much you still sticking with LaMelo, just to go ahead and finish it out. But I believe it's going to come down to Anthony or Tyrese, and so then defensive player of the year. What you got?
Can we just give it to somebody? Let's see. Who? Man. I'll just say Ben Simmons. He's my defensive player of the year. They number one in the East. I hear he's a great defender. So I'm going Ben Simmons because I'm tired of giving it to Rudy Gobert because I don't think it makes a difference.
I had Joel Embiid, so I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? Either one.
Okay.
But Ben Simmons, he definitely guards 1 through 4. I'm pretty sure on some nights, depending on the team, he's guarding 5s, depending on the team. And in the East, you could pretty much play him at the 5 as well, because I mean the only other tall person in the East is KD or Giannis.
Or Giannis, and they pretty much the same size.
Yeah, and he can guard either one. You know what I'm saying? And so,
right.
So I'm not mad at that, and especially I'm kind of over defensive player of the year. It's especially with Rudy Gobert and the Jazz. Enough with the Jazz. So 6 man.
Well, let me.
Go ahead.
I don't know if we're gonna do this. We doing this pod next year. The defensive player of the year, mark my words, right now, is gonna be Robert Williams from Boston, guaranteed.
Robert Williams. That's
He's from Louisiana, huh?
I think so.
I believe so.
Let me not lie to you, but
I think he's from Louisiana.
I've seen him play though. He's definitely nice. He definitely got game.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah. So that's my pick for next year. I ain't got one for this year, but he's my next year's pick. My prediction.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. What about 6 man?
Ooh, that's a real good one right there.
6 man, last time out we had
6 of the year. God.
Last time out you had Jordan Clarkson, and I think we're still pretty much on board with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Jordan Clarkson.
I'm still going. And he's still getting buckets off the bench.
Yeah.
So I'm still riding with Clarkson.
Most stuff. And then what about most improved?
Julius.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's exactly who I had.
Man, that boy, he a whole new ball player. He Julius. I don't know. He done added that jump shot. He shoot threes. He got the jumper. He got that weight up off him.
Yep.
He still like getting physical. That passing. He's showing you the passing. Julius. He running away with that.
Yeah. Julius is definitely running away with that one. That is my most improved player of the year. My coach of the year is Mardy Williams. I'm rolling with Mardy because Phoenix has not been good in so long. So I'm rolling with Mardy Williams. Right. I got Halliburton winning rookie of the year, and defensive player of the year. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad if Embiid wins it. 6 man, I do have Jordan Clarkson, and my most improved is Julius Randle. Now,
okay,
this brings us to this is an odd MVP conversation this year because LeBron has missed enough time. Kyrie has missed enough time. KD has missed enough time. James Harden has
about to miss some time.
Missed enough time. Giannis, I think people are just exhausted with the whole Giannis thing, so that excludes him from this. My MVP listed, it's short. It's short this year. My candidates: Dame. I wouldn't be mad if somebody said Chris Paul. And I got Joker on the list. Those are my three.
Them your only three.
Those are pretty much my only three. If James Harden can kind of get back into the mix, I would consider James Harden more so MVP, because seeing just Kyrie and KD on the floor, it's been okay. But adding James to the mix, it's really like propelled them to another level. Because I think with Kyrie and KD, I think we all just expected just, a great team. But when you add James Harden into the mix, that sprinkle him in there, which he is an MVP himself, that propels you and that puts you at all-time expectations. You know what I'm saying? All-time team. That's what they would want. So I think if James Harden can get back soon enough, he can get back in this race. Oh, and also Embiid is on the list too, but he has to really play well down the stretch.
Right. He missed time too.
Yeah.
And Philly was still winning. That's the thing. He missed all that time, but Philly was still putting up them dubs while he was gone. So that kind of hurt too.
Yeah, that hurts.
So you gave me three. I would say my top three is pretty much the same. I would say Dame, Chris Paul, and Joker right now is probably I'm going with them three too. Mm-hmm. But who is your one though?
Joker.
Okay.
He's carried everything over from the bubble. He started maybe like the first 10, 15 games. He was a little slow, out of shape. But ever since that point, he's played himself into shape. Dog, it's nothing that he doesn't do though. Besides defense, anybody can pretty much score on him. But we all know he don't really have, lift to get off the ground to really, block somebody's shot or something like that. So, I mean, I would put Joker as number one on the list.
Right, and it don't matter if you can score on him, because he's going to score on you. So I don't care if you can. He's going to outscore you no matter how much you put on him. That's how good he is. So yeah, I saw a graphic. He lead them in so many stats. Like not just points, rebounds, assists, steals, and all that. He leads them in the plus minus, the PER, the all the advanced stats. He's number one in like all of them for the whole team.
I believe
like nobody else. He just be doing everything. So I mean, I'm not mad at that. But
and he's on the floor a lot, like a lot. Right. I think that's why it was so critical that they got JaVale McGee, just to give him a break, 5 to 10 minutes of sitting down. So he's on the floor a lot. So right. I definitely give it to him. So number one on your list is Joker as well.
No.
Who's number one on your list? Dollar.
No.
Who you got? Paul. Oh, Chris Paul. I'm not mad.
I got Chris Paul.
I'm not mad at that. And you know what? Go ahead.
Because that's the only reason why Phoenix number 2 in the West. Like, and didn't they miss the play? They missed the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And he came, and now they are 20 games over 500. Just from adding him alone.
One person.
Like when you said at the beginning of the season that was your sleeper team, I laughed because I was like, they are 5 deep. They really they really only like 6 deep, but it don't matter because his impact is like he was pretty much like that LeBron this year. He came and changed everything. He put everybody in their spots. He get to his spot. They communicate on defense. They in the right place on offense. They like playing together. Mikal Bridges is number 2 of my most improved. He gonna be a ball player one day.
Yep.
When he get his time, he gonna be nice. And it's all because Chris Paul came. I can't explain it. The team on paper, they not they on paper they three or four deep on paper.
Yep.
But together with him running the show, like son, it don't make it don't make sense for them to be that high. They shouldn't have a better record than the Clippers.
Agreed. And that was another reason for me to pick the Suns in the whenever we did the first show. Yeah. I've seen Chris Paul turn David West into an all-star. I've seen Chris Paul turn Tyson Chandler into either defensive player of the year or runner-up all-star. And I've seen
he turned Pedro Stojakovic into an all-star, old Pager.
And on top of it, Chris Paul is the reason Trevor Ariza ended up on Kobe's Laker teams. You know what I'm saying? Because he was supposed to be a part of that deal originally as well. So don't forget Trevor Ariza was a part of that Hornets team in New Orleans as well. So, but you put Chris Paul around some dudes that really want it or that's talented, he gonna make them go. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be mad if somebody said Chris Paul. And I wouldn't be mad if somebody put Devin Booker on the list, but it's hard for me to really put him on that list whenever it was
when he was on the team last year.
When he was on the team last year, and on top of it, he hardly got into All-Star this year. But I think that's just because people are, they have their blinders on whenever it comes to the Suns. So
yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be mad if somebody said Chris Paul. So Chris Paul versus Joker down the stretch. If James Harden gets back, if Embiid continues to play at the high level that he was playing at before his knee injury, we'll see. We'll see how those things shake out. But once again, we didn't even go over these lists prior to the show, but we kind of had the same thing. And I do like Doc Rivers.
Yeah, and before Chris Paul, I had Harden before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Like before Harden got hurt, I was like, bro, this like how you said the Nets was just playing out of their mind. They play out of their mind when he playing this best. Like they unbeatable. But shoot, he hurt. He hurt now. Do we knock him for being hurt? I guess.
I think
that's why we knock LeBron and Embiid because everybody missing games. And Chris Paul, I don't think he really missed any games this year. And and the Suns flourish with him. But them other teams, I think if they get their best, if Harden gets hurt, the Nets survive. They still good. If Durant gets hurt, the Nets still good. LeBron gets hurt, LeBron gets hurt, they fall off. But
they're not out the mix.
Yeah, they still hanging around right now. But at least right now they hanging on. But Embiid got hurt, they still hung around. Chris Paul get hurt, I don't even know who they backup point guard. It's either Campaign or it's
Langston. One of the two.
But somebody. It's some. But that shows you if he gets hurt, where that team gonna go.
Right.
So Chris Paul for me.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all, and I definitely think a lot of people would definitely echo that. And so you actually had a chance to go to a Pelicans game this year. Tell us about like how the experience at a COVID game was. Was this prior to vaccinations? Was this did you get vaccinated? If that's something that you want to answer, feel free to. If not, go ahead. But just tell us about what you thought about just the experience at an NBA game in the COVID era.
Okay, yeah, this was pre-vaccination, and I just got my vaccination about 3-4 days ago. Arm's still a little sore. I don't like that, but it's gonna be all right. But yeah, so pre-vax, I went. Me and my cousin went, and it was typical Pelicans game. They started off bad, terrible, getting blew out, and but they ended up turning around and winning it. It wasn't that many. It wasn't that many fans, but I think their teams are arenas are starting to learn how to keep fans engaged with like some of the like during the breaks or whatever, the games that they be playing, and they're doing some new type of entertainment stuff like at halftime to keep you entertained. It was pretty much like a regular game, except the fact you got to keep your mask on the whole time. My mask fell one time. As soon as it fell, a lady pointed, "Hey, put your mask back on. I was like, oh, I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, I was like, it wasn't 2 seconds. It went off my nose that much. She was like, hey, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. So that was the other thing. Another good thing during the COVID, going with games like this, the seating is like wide open, so you pretty much can sit anywhere. I mean, we
Really?
sat. Well, not really, but after
New Orleans games. New Orleans, you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you could find your way on dang near courtside by by halftime, due to security. So but it was cool. Like it felt like a normal game, except people had masks on. It wasn't that many people. Got to see your boy Jason Tatum and Kemba Shrink down the stretch.
You don't say.
Hey man, it's not him. I'm telling you, it's the coach. And when you watch the Celtics, you're gonna see his coaching. It's not them.
Hey, I hear you, but I know what I see. But I was just wondering because I was just wondering what the experience is like at the games now, because of course other fans in the stands, they can be a antagonist, you know what I'm saying, to help the team that you cheering for, or they can hurt, you know what I'm saying, and then that voice can hit the floor, and then somebody look up, and then it's your fault now all of a sudden, you know what I mean?
You know what, you're right, because somebody was talking to one of them on the court, and I'm like, I know they hear it, because like I can hear from where I was sitting, and we were sitting on two opposite sides. I'm like, wait, I know they hear it. I'm like, I know they hear you talking. I'm like, I know he hear you talking to him. But somebody was talking to Kimber, and like he had messed up or something. He just started smiling at him. I'm like, oh, this is.
You hear?
I'm like, they hear it, but I'm like, they can hear stuff way more clearly now. So like, you know what, it could affect some players. The fact that you can hear exactly what people be saying, because whatever he said, like he looked right at me, just bust out laughing. I'm like, oh yeah, this is. I'm like, okay, that's different.
Yeah. So that's something that I was wondering about, because with it's not as much noise as it once was in the arenas and in the stadiums, and it's not noise, it's not other chatter that's going on that's not about the game. It's not so much like I feel like at this point, if you're going to NBA COVID basketball games, you're dedicated to the game. And now that those extras, let's just call them extra fans, or let's just say casual, now that the casual fan is out of the mix, people are really locked in. And so I was just wondering what that experience was like, because Mr. McGee told me that this is after all those different vaccinations started rolling out, that the arena is now set up to where if you have like the Johnson & Johnson vaccination, like you have to sit over here. If you have the Pfizer vaccination, you have to sit over there.
Moderna.
And if you got the Moderna, you got to sit over there and that side. So he said like recently they've kind of like updated some of the stuff they're doing. But us Louisianians know that the mayor of New Orleans, she operates to the beat of her own drum. So that may be something that she's kind of put on the arena to kind of ensure the safety of her community, which I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Because 45 definitely handled this terrible. But
the worst you could have ever handled it.
Right. So yeah, so that was that. And we'll get into standings in a little bit. And how has this season felt to you? Just as a basketball constant, you know what I mean? To me, this year has felt like some mid. Like boys is hurt. Like boys is hurt all over the place. KD, Bron, AD. We haven't seen Clay. Still haven't seen Clay. Porzingis was hurt for a while. Zion hasn't had the boost that I think that a lot or quote unquote lived up to the hype. Maybe that's because everybody isn't tuned in. However, he's been on a 30-point streak and as of like the last 2 weeks. But just the season overall, like from start to current point, it feels like some mid. What you think?
Yeah, this season, I feel like this is a season of let's just let's make it through. Make it through the regular season. I feel like it's all right. It's just make it through the regular season, and then once the playoffs come, that I'm pretty sure arena's gonna start letting more fans in. More of the players that are kind of hurt are gonna, the superstar players that are hurt are gonna be playing. But I think right now it's just managing through the season. They're like, look, it's still a COVID season. People been getting nicked up left and right. They're like, look, we just gonna worry about making it to the playoffs. As long as we get in the playoffs, that's what it looks like. A lot of teams do. Just make it to the playoffs. Just grind it out. This season just feels like a big grind.
Yeah.
Like just get to the playoffs, and then stuff will kind of be more back to normal in anticipation for the next NBA season, when stuff probably, it's gonna be way picked up by then. Like attendance gonna be close to 100% in a lot of these arenas. Yeah. So it's been a tough one to watch.
It has. It definitely.
It was one game. Oh, the Lakers and the Clippers, I believe, were on TV the other day.
Easter Sunday.
Yeah. I tuned in.
Terrible.
I tuned out. I was like, wait, so no LeBron, no AD, Schroeder is no. I was at the Brooklyn game.
No, that was for the Brooklyn game. Bron, AD, and Kyle Kuzma were sitting, and the face of promo was Dennis Schroeder. I said, "Oh my God, the league!"
Oh yeah, I forgot what game I was watching, and that came across the screen. This was about a couple weeks ago, when it said, it was like the Bucks versus the Lakers, and they had Giannis on one side. I'm like, okay, look on the side, and there's Dennis Schroeder. I'm like, oh.
Put it in rice.
So I skipped that game so bad. It's hard. I'm like, yeah, this is a tough season. Like, I already don't like watching some of the games without the stars, but I'm like, man, no stars and no fans. Like, so it's like
double
that hype that you can get. It don't be feeling the same.
And
that's, man, I'm like, just grind through it.
And that's my biggest point to it. I think that the NBA misses its fans more than any other sport. One, because the fans are literally sitting on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's camera women and men that are literally behind the stanchion, and they have their little box that they're supposed to sit in. You know what I'm saying? Like, humans make the NBA game, fans make the game so much more better, because it's you literally feel the Celtics crowd through the screen. You know what I'm saying? Watching it at home. Right. You felt the Warriors crowd at Oracle through the screen. Like, you know what I mean? Like Laker fans, you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel it through the screen. Like, now whenever you're watching it, it's kind of flat. The audio in the arena, it's like it's generated. So it's not really like the official thing. But I don't know. This year has felt like some mid, and I think that is due to a big part is due to the injuries, and the second part is due to a lot of the arenas aren't letting fans or max capacity in, which I understand it is the COVID era, but just pointing out what we see. That's all. Right. You know what I mean? And so, fans, and to your point about next season, the NBA does have plans to let all teams in the arenas next year, like full capacity. So that is something for next year to look forward to. And so what we'll do now, we'll just get into, you sent me this the other day, the ESPN top 10 under 25. Then we'll move into standings, and then we'll get into playoffs and some other stuff on the back end. And for the top 10 under 25, this list was pretty alarming to me about how
this is the ESPN list. Let's make that distinction. It's the ESPN list.
You're right. This is the ESPN list, and this was last week. This may have been like Wednesday of last week, which was it wasn't too long ago. Yeah. Last week was the 7th. That was about the 7th that you sent that to me. So this is a recent list that the powers that be at ESPN came up with. For anybody that knows ESPN, they make shitty lists all the time. So I think just how this one was, this just kind of added fuel to the fire. Number 1 on the list, Luke the Don. Luka. Number 2, Zion. Number 3, LaMelo. 4, Donovan Mitchell. Bit overrated. Jason Tatum. Number 5, we all know how I feel. Swiper the Fox. Number 6, Ben Simmons. 7, Devin Booker. 8, Bam. 9, SGA. 10, Brandon Ingram. 11, Jaylen Brown. 12, Murray. 15, Porter Jr. 14, Ja Morant. 15, and I was by the time, I'm gonna be honest with you, whenever I got down to Bam at number 9, I was ready to like throw the phone halfway across the room. But just to finish off the list, 16, Trae Young. 17, Mikal Bridges. 18, Young Sabonis. 19, Anthony Edwards in his rookie year, and 20, DeAndre Ayton. You sent it to me, and so I know you may have had the same reaction as I did whenever I opened it up. So whenever you came across this, what went through your mind?
Who made, like, my thing was, who made the list? First of all, I see the 3 people never heard of the 3 NBA analysts: Bobby Marks, Kevin Pelton, and Mike Schmitz. They put this list together, and it looks like the top 5 look like they went off the hype train of now. Like, I don't know if they're talking about right now, like, are they projecting into the future? Because ain't no way LaMelo Ball better than Donovan Mitchell.
Ain't no way Ja Morant should be 15.
Ain't no way. Ja Morant and De'Aaron Fox number 6 and Ja Morant number 15. That don't make sense.
It's backwards. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Because I'm like, I see the impact Ja Morant had. I'm like, this is a way better winning impact than De'Aaron Fox ever did. He's just a better player, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who else we got on here? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's not better than Brandon Ingram.
At all.
He's not better than Jaylen Brown.
At all.
He's not better than Michael Porter Jr. He's not better than Ja Morant. He's not better than Trae Young.
Nope.
So he can come down.
Bam.
LaMelo is not the 3rd best player under 25 yet.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not yet, because it got people. Donovan has carried a team. Tatum carries a team. Ben Simmons helps carry a team. Devin Booker is now starting to help carry a team. Right. Bam is one of the 2 or 3 best players on his team. Ja Morant carries his team.
Thanks.
This was just weird to me. Like, I didn't know the criteria of it. I was like, so is it now, or is it like who they projected the next couple of years? Mm-hmm. So that was the main thing that stood out to me. And then like you read off the top 20, and then after that, it's like kind of like a drop off, because they already got Tyrese Halliburton, the 21st best player under 25.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even look past 20.
Right. But people like Mikal Bridges, like I said, like, he's not that good yet.
Thanks.
Like, he's gonna I think he's gonna be, but Sabonis number 18, he made an all-star team. Like, and this year and last year, and he should have made it this year too. Did he make it this year?
He made it this year because he replaced Kevin Durant.
Okay, yeah, but he should have made it, period, this year over Big Voo, and he made it last year. Him at 18, he definitely top 10. I don't care what nobody say. He's right there. And De'Aaron Fox not better than Ben Simmons and Devin Booker. How did he slide in here at number 6? Like, what do they see?
Yeah, it has to be some type of criteria that these writers went off of, because I think Spider is a bit, I don't know, we'll get into that about Spider in a minute. But LaMelo shouldn't be that high up. Fox shouldn't be that high. Shouldn't be that high up. Excuse me. Bam shouldn't be that high up. I love Devin Booker. He shouldn't be that high up. Excuse me. Neither should.
You said Devin Booker not a top 8 player under 25?
I put Book right here at 10. I would put Book right at 10. I would put Book right there at 10.
Trying to see who under him is better.
I mean, you look at Jamal Murray. He's been doing it for a while. He's been doing it for a while. So I can only go off of what I've seen for so long.
Okay, I can have an argument for Murray.
And on top of it, if you can pull Murray, put him where Fox is, you can pull LaMelo, and you can move Brandon Ingram in there. I really love what I'm one of those people that's I did not believe in Brandon Ingram coming into the league at all. But but I just see it now. Like I see it now. I think he's in a terrible offense. We spoke last time about how I feel about Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can see a world where this is shuffled around a bit, where Ball, Fox, Bam, and SGA, those three are moved out, and where you put Ingram, Brown, and Murray.
Right, because those three are your first and second best player on their team. Now Shea is, but I don't think he's proven enough yet individually.
Right.
And LaMelo just got here.
Yep.
De'Aaron's been the best player on this team, but this team is stunk every year he's played. So I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's the coach. Don't know if it's his teammates, but
or the city.
Right, but I just don't think individually his game is just as good as those other ones. Like you put them by themselves, I think they do better than what he does by himself, in my opinion. And yeah, but like Ingram, Brown, them all-stars.
Yeah.
Like whose man's is these that made these lists, bro? Like that's all I want to know.
Yeah, so
but the only thing I give him is the top 2, and that's only because Luka can handle his own against anybody, and Zion is unstoppable when he just get it at the top of the key and just run left as fast as he can. That's the only move he got. Run left as fast as he can and spin. Them the only 2 moves he got right now.
Yep.
And he's still averaging almost 30.
Zion catch the ball and run. It's an ugly sight for whoever.
Right. It's a wrap. He running to the rim, too dumb.
So that was that list there. ESPN's top 20. Well, there is the full list 25. I believe the full list is 25, but we just went over 20 because that's the only group that is necessary. I can imagine the other 5 were a bit of a ruckus.
Yeah, Lonzo Ball made the top 20 for his 5, so that shows you how. Yeah.
We'll save that. we'll save that one. I like Lonzo, but hey,
you like Jared Allen?
Get out of here, Jared. Jared Allen is on that list. Next topic. Dog, that is crazy. I can't believe Jared Allen's on this. If Jared Allen's on that list, I need to be on that list, and I'm 27. I'm not even in the league.
Right? We both need to be on there. Jared Allen made the list too.
Right. And so now we'll get into some standings here. I'll let you hold down the West, you know what I'm saying, because you're a resident fan of the West, as a Blazer fan, and I'll hold down the Eastern Conference. And you want to go ahead and go first, or you want me to hold the East down first?
I can go first.
All right, go ahead and run it.
So, all right. So let's see. First place is Utah. Second, Phoenix. Surprisingly, third, we got the Clippers. Fourth is the Nuggets. Then 5 through 8 reads Lakers, Trailblazers, Mavs, and the Grizzlies wrap it up at 8.
All right. Then over there in the Eastern Conference, it is a tie at the top for 1 and 2. The Sixers and the Nets are both 36 and 17. But I guess the advantage goes to the Sixers as they may have won a couple of the head-to-heads. So the list reads Sixers, Nets, Bucks, Hawks, the Heat at number 5, Celtics number 6. Celtics are 28 and 26. That's concerning. The Hornets are number 7, 27 and 25. A lot of their success came from LaMelo, but now he's done for the year. And the Knicks, holding on, 27 and 27, sitting at 8 and 8. And my Bulls are down there at 22 and 30 at number 10. Yikes. So, as
y'all only 3 games out, and y'all got Indiana in front of y'all. Y'all not that far.
As
y'all
long
can
as
make it, just have hope.
As long as we sit at number 10, so we can have an opportunity to get the play-in game, and we'll go over the play-in scenarios in a moment. But as long as I'll just go over the play-in scenarios while we're here. So
yeah, you might as well.
The 7th seed will play the 8th seed. The 9th seed will play the 10th seed. The winner of the 7 versus 8 gets the 7th seed. The 9 versus 10 gets the 8th seed. That's how I read it. That's how it read to me, and that pretty much because it's the overall 10. So it's the overall 10. So that's how I read it, and that may be an update. I'm not sure, because last year with that being in the bubble, it kind of like threw me off. But what do you think about the West? Do you think the Western Conference is pretty much going to stay packed as is, or do you think it's going to kind of change up a bit?
Oh, so are we going to go over we're going to go over the play-in games, like, right?
Yeah.
Like
we're going to
who
go.
would play who?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So let me just go ahead and do this. So in the West, I think I would say 4 through, well, 4, it don't matter who has 4 and 5, but I think, let's see, 5 through 7 can change.
Yeah.
Because the Lakers are only 2 games in front of Portland, and Portland is only 1.5 in front of Dallas. So LeBron and AD won't be back for another, I think they said 2 or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that could potentially drop them down to number. If they have a bad, couple of weeks, that could drop them down to number 7, and they would have to be doing a play-in instead of being number 5 and playing against either Portland or maybe even Portland or the Nuggets. Yep. So that's the only thing that might really switch is really concerning is the Lakers. Where will they be? Can they hold on to their 5th seed or get up to their 4 while LeBron and AD trying to rest up? Because Portland, we just lost ground today by losing to Miami at home. I don't want to fall to a play-in game, because if we fall to a play-in game, the Warriors is number 10 right now.
The Warriors,
and I know they don't got Clay, and I know they don't have Clay, but they still got Steph, and they still got Draymond and Wiggins and Oubre. Who knows? They could have a hot. Is it one game?
Yeah, it's one game.
Yeah, they could be hot one night and just beat us. So
they just lost Wiseman for the year too.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, he tore his meniscus.
Oh yeah, well, they ain't beat nobody because Looney is some cheese under that goal. So never mind, we can fall. I don't care. We in there. But yeah, that's the only concerning thing is the Lakers. They don't want to fall too bad. If you fall to 7, that means that might be good because they'll play Phoenix in the first round. They could beat them. But if they stay at 5, they would play Denver, which is might take a little wear on them. But
I would love to see Utah versus the Lakers in the first round. I would love to see it.
Why you want to get Utah out of there so bad?
I don't like Utah. I don't like nothing about Utah. Like let me just go ahead and get my Utah hate off real quick. So first of all, why is Utah called the Jazz when there's nothing like musical about anything up there? Give New Orleans their name back. That's number one. Number two, they overhype their players because there's nothing else that goes on in the state of Utah besides Utah football, Utah college football. Nobody cares about that. Number three, Donovan Mitchell, he cool, but he's a volume shooter. He puts up a lot of shots. The other night I was in that was Wednesday night. I was watching them play against the Suns. At one point in the game, he was like 9 of 23 or 9 of 25, constantly with only like 20 points, like constantly just pulling up from everywhere. And it's like, I get it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't like anything about Utah. So I would love if Braun and company go ahead and get them up out of here. So we don't have to hear any more Rudy Gobert, Dan Snyder, or Joe Ingles, or anybody. I'm cool on Utah. I'm cool. Fool's gold.
Okay, you're right. I mean, I don't hate him that much. I just don't like Rudy Gobert because I think his value is overvalued. Like, I'm like, come on, bro. He just tall and can stand under the goal. I'm like, everybody in the league can do that. Every big man in the league can do what he do if they really wanted to just be tall and non-effective on offense. That's all he is tall, non-existent offense. That's all he is. So yeah, I don't care too much for the Jazz, but they do play. The thing I hate is that they do play so good together as a team, and then they shoot it so well from three. It's ridiculous. Well, mainly because Conley been on fire this year. He showed y'all like last year. Y'all thought he was done. He said with me. This is welcome back. So he said, right, this is bounce back. So he done came back shooting. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, they ain't gonna do nothing. We know who it's gonna be. We know it's gonna come down to the Lakers or the Clippers or the Trailblazers. We know that. So we already know it's what it's gonna come down to in the West. So yeah, that's it for that. So how you think the East looking?
So for the Eastern Conference, side note, I'm gonna give Nate McMillan his flowers because ever since the Hawks fired their coach, the Hawks, I think they went like out of 12 games, I think they went like 10-2. Ever since they fired their coach and they put Nate McMillan in his place to be the interim. So the Hawks has moved up to number 4. They were kind of teetering like on that 7 and 8 spot. But ever since they fired their coach and put Nate in place, they've been playing a lot better. So I want to give the Hawks some credit here.
Oh yeah, there was a lot going on behind the scenes with that coach and the star players. It's a lot there.
Really? I didn't know about that.
Oh, what? John Collins? No, they did not like the coach. John Collins didn't like him. Trae Young and him wasn't getting along like that. And it's another player on the team. They were saying, Cam, he wasn't playing Cam like he should have been playing. So yeah, it was a lot of resentment, like how he was handling all the young players on the team. As soon as he left, like it wasn't no sense for John Collins not to be averaging 20 and 10. While there's no sense that he's too good not to be averaging 20 and 10. But as soon as he left, that's when you saw the scoring and the rebounding go up. That's because them and the coach had a lot of issues.
Yeah. So just get back to your overall point. I think that the East, it still can shuffle a bit because everybody's within reach. You sitting here and you get to number 5, the Heat are 28 and 25, the Celtics 28 and 26, and at the number 6 seed. That's number 6 seed. Oh my God, the Hornets are 27.
Big C's over here.
The Hornets are 27 and 25. I think they could kind of fall off, but we'll see. It's not hard to stay on in the East, but they just got to sustain it. The Knicks, I think the Knicks will, finish strong. If anybody drops out, I think it may be the Hornets fall. I would love to see my Bulls get in there, but they're sitting at number 10, 22, and 30. The Pacers are 25 and 27. I don't believe in the Bucks. We already know that.
Yeah, I second that.
And I think that the Hawks need a bit more. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I think that this is where they enter that phase in their how can I say their era of going through like their playoff lumps and their bruises and things of that nature, just being a consistent playoff team. And I think I take that back. So the Hornets and the Heat, both of them may slide, especially with Victor Oladipo going down. I think that he was a critical part of the team, but if you said indefinitely, so that means to be determined. So I think the Heat could slide. I think the Hornets could slide. I see a world where the Pacers and the Bulls both take their spots, and once again, I'm keeping hope alive. Fingers crossed. But the playing situation: 7 versus 8, 9 versus what it go? Let me go back to it. 7 versus 8, 9 versus 10. So that would be a good little scenario, and it's one game. I still see the conference finals. Wow. I got the Nets. I still have the Nets
beating
coming
the
out.
7, beating Philly
with a healthy James Harden. Yes. I think James Harden is the main factor to the Nets. I think he is the most important player for the Nets.
More important than KD.
I think he is the most important player. I think KD is their jack of all trades. You know what I'm saying? But KD always gonna look for his shot. Kyrie is always looking for his shot. James is looking to move the ball and get everybody involved. You know what I mean? Whether if it's lobs, whether if it's coming off the pick and rolls, crashing, you know what I'm saying? Whether if it's kicking it out, or whether if it's breaking it down and just him getting busy with buckets himself. I think James is the most important piece. But at this moment today, and today is April 12th, I'm rolling with the Nets. So that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah, I'm going with the Nets just off firepower. Like I ain't got no other. I mean, I don't have no other reason to pick them. I just when you got them 3 should win you. Them 3 should get you to the finals. I don't care who the other team got. We got them 3. We straight. Like we get to the finals, in my opinion. So the Nets and man, if the Celtics could just stop shooting so many threes, they could be in the Eastern Conference Finals again. They shoot way, son. That's their problem, son. I don't know what Brad got them. I don't know what Brad doing, but they shoot too many threes. I'm like, bro, Tatum not a real 3-point shooter. Brown not a real 3-point shooter. Like, what are you doing? They shoot. It's so many possessions they have where they shoot threes within 10 seconds of the shot clock. You know, going off with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Oh, we got a pick and roll 3 coming up. 1 pass 3. I'll be like, bro, y'all don't shoot that good to shoot so many threes. That's their problem. That's why I'm blaming Brad Stevens and not the players. Because I'm like, you let them do this. They gonna do what you let them. If you tell Jason Tatum if you put in some more sets for them to run other stuff, mid-range stuff and slashing, then they'll have to do that. Like, but he let them. They shoot too many threes, and that's gonna be the downfall for them. And it's because Brad. I guess that's what they want to do, but I'm like, your 2 best players aren't 3-point shooters, so they can't be shooting threes. So don't give them on Tatum, because you see in that offense, he's still scoring 50.
Here's my thing with Jason Tatum, right?
And that was on Philly, wasn't it? No, that was against who he drew a foul on somebody. I'm trying to think who it was. It was some good center. Anyway, was it?
Let me see. I'm about to go find it, but go ahead.
It was like 2 days ago.
That was against the T-Wolves.
Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, he drew a foul on Towns. He good. He drew a foul on Towns. Yeah, he dropped 50, but yeah, man.
Is Carl good? Is Carl good? We can revisit it. We can revisit.
He's great value version of Rasheed Wallace.
Oh, okay. I like that. You know what I'm saying? And so here's my thing with Jason Tatum. And my thing with Jason Tatum is he looks and he moves like Kobe on the floor. Okay. He's built like T-Mac. My issue is he has terrible shot recognition. Like, what's a good shot? What's a bad shot? And that goes back to your point as well. And I'm glad that you said that. Like, Brad Stevens just rolls the ball out and let him go hoop. Like, he just let him do whatever. Obviously, Brad, hopefully that is just something for the regular season. Hopefully for the playoffs, he has something a bit more condensed and something a bit more that gets everybody moving, because their offense just doesn't look the same at all. Like their offense, even in the bubble and even 2 years ago, like their whole offense just looked totally different. Yes, I understand you had Kyrie in place of Kemba and everything between. And yes, you understand you had Terry Rozier in place of Kyrie for a certain point in time too. But still, your offense shouldn't do that. Was Al Horford that important to their team? Maybe that's something that people have to ask too. Exactly. So, I mean, I think it's all point guard play. You know what I'm saying? I think it's all point guard play. So they got to get that situation figured out too, because it don't look good for the Celtics. But I still think that they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll be all right.
They're falling into that. Yeah, they're falling into that trap of everybody playing like all the teams playing like they don't have their own style. That's what they fall into the trap. Like how does they fall into the same trap the Clippers had with Doc Rivers? He started letting his team play like the NBA is doing, like how everybody's pick and roll the threes. That ain't what your team does best. So that's what the Celtics are falling into right now. And hopefully Brad doesn't keep them, let them stay there. Because I'm like, they just trying to play like every other team. Pick and roll, three. Give it to your best player, try to create something. Three, shoot a bad shot. Like that's like you gotta play to your team's strengths. And that's not good basketball, that's not good coaching, and that's gonna show in the playoffs. They're gonna just flame out just how the Clippers did last year if they keep playing the same type of ball they play.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it as far as the playoffs. I mean, would really look like here. I don't think much is really going to change in the East besides the Heat could fall. The Heat could fall out, or maybe toward the bottom. The Hornets could fall out altogether. And I think the NBA, they did release something in regards to fans and the playoffs here. So currently, there's a handful of teams in the league that are allowing fans into the arenas. Of the playoff teams that are allowing fans as of today, April 12th, the Hawks are letting fans in, the Celtics are letting fans in, the Nets, the Hornets. I'm going through playoff teams here. The Mavs, the Nuggets, the Pacers aren't in it. The Clippers and the Lakers, they're letting fans in starting, I think, sometime later on this month. I think they said the 22nd was the date that they're looking at. The Heat are letting fans in. The Bucks are letting fans in. The Knicks are letting fans in. The Sixers, the Suns. The Jazz are also. The reason why I bring that up is due to people, those respective teams letting fans in, is because, as we stated earlier in the show, that like fans bring a different type of energy to the game, and especially your dedicated fans are going to show up for the playoffs. They let those fans there in the playoffs, plus the generated noise that the arenas can do, because since the arena isn't at full capacity, I think that's a major thing, and so that may be something of interest going forward. What you think?
Yeah, it's just gonna be good seeing playoff basketball in a playoff atmosphere instead of just watching the players trying to generate all of their own energy. Like it's good to have the interaction with the fans. Their energy is better. It's aesthetically better on when you're watching it from home, and it's like like it's just good to have people at games. Number one was, was something to do.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere just brings something extra out of the players, like because they play to win a championship, but they also it's entertainment. They also put on those type of performances in front of the people. They like going to the Garden in front of fans and showing out. They like going to a packed Staples Center, and leaving a mark and going to the Garden and putting up some big buckets. So uh, I I can't wait. I'm just ready to go to more games. I think because I've only been that was my first game in since 20 since at least since 2019. And I usually randomly go to New Orleans whenever I ain't got nothing to do. I used to just drive to New Orleans on a random Wednesday or Friday just to watch a game, man. I miss it. I have missed it. And when I got there, the energy just felt so much better. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm back to doing something that I'm normally doing, and it just felt so good. It felt good. It felt great. Put it like that.
Yeah, I believe it. I definitely do. And also, just to kind of circle back to the playing game, here's the official phrase. The teams that finish the regular season in the number 7 and number 8 spots will have 2 chances to win 1 game and earn a playoff spot. The teams that finish number 9 and 10 need to win 2 consecutive games to advance to the NBA playoffs.
So to me, it sounds like 7 will play 10, 8 will play 9.
Yeah. So in each conference, the number 7 team will host the number 8 team, with the winner securing the number 7 seed in the playoffs. The number 9 team will host the number 10 team. The loser of the matchup is eliminated and joins the draft lottery. The loser of the 7-8 game will host the winner
of 9-10.
Of 9-10, with the winner claiming the final 8 position and the loser joining the draft lottery.
Why are they doing this?
I think somebody said, hey, that NCAA game that they get to play to pick the final 2 seeds to play in, I like that idea. Let's do that. Or I think, now that's just me in my own head, you know what I'm saying, just making that shit up. But I think actually what happened, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, some teams down there at the bottom, 7 or 8, 7, 8, 9, they may have all had the exact
same record, didn't it?
Same record, same win percentage and everything. Yeah. And so that's when the NBA was like, all right, let's just go ahead and try and fix this. And that's just kind of like a Band-Aid over it. But you know what I mean? But I think I think I get it. It's gonna take some getting used to. So I mean, hey.
Yeah, they just trying some, because I think it happened that one year in the West where all of the last bottom teams were all 48 and 30, whatever. It had 3 teams with the same record. And they was like, come on, bro. They really? We all got the same record and we don't have the equal chance to get to the playoffs. So yeah, that's probably it. But I don't see the point. I don't see the use for it, because whoever is in them spots, they not gonna 99% of the time they're not gonna win the championship anyway. So it don't matter what they do, what they got going on.
And just to put a bow on the whole playing games, the playing games, they start on May 18th. I'm pretty sure they'll be on TNT, ESPN, ABC. Just those there.
We forget. That's the main reason. More games, more money.
$ first. And then so something else that came down the line. The NBA is, I believe they're voting on changing the jumping into a shooter rule. It's about time. It's about time. I hate it. I can't stand it. I can't stand the fact that you can pump fake somebody commits to playing defense and then a shooter just jumps into them. I'm so glad that they are looking into changing this. That's the cheapest and the weakest play move in our game. And I'm looking forward to everybody, the powers that be changing this. Yeah. Also, they're looking into adding in a second challenge if your first challenge is successful, similar to football. So
should have been that should have came
with the original rule. But
right, at least they fixing it.
At least they fix it. At least they're fixing it in real time. So that was one thing. Yeah.
Bro. Hey, I gotta go in right. I hate that play, son. Like, ain't no way in the world. If I pump it, if I jump straight up and you jump into me, what did I do wrong? Like, I didn't leave my space. This is like, as a defender, I gotta have some space. Like, I gotta be able to contest a shot. But if you just do this and I jump and then you just be like, shoot, he in the air, let me just jump 3 feet inside the 3-point line, throw the ball like this, and I get 3 shots. Son, bro, I hate that call. So if I was a ref, I'm never calling. Never. I don't care what it is. I ain't calling it. LeBron can do it. I'm not calling it. Steph can do it. I'm not calling that play. And bro, it's so cheap, son. I just hate that. I'm like, you can't. What are you supposed to do? And then sometimes they call it, if I'm on the ground, like if the defender can land before, they can be back on the ground and you can still just throw it and they'll still call it. Thank God they changed that rule because I don't want to see that play ever again.
That and the that falls along like the same category of when a shooter shoots and then like they kick their leg out. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing. Like right. To draw contact.
It's the same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
You're just going a different way.
So they should have been eliminated this. And to your point about a defender having me as a defender should have space, I agree with that too. Just like how a shooter has to have his or her landing space.
Right.
A defender.
Right.
There you go.
Protect the defender too.
Yeah. Don't turn it into football. Don't turn it into football where everything is PI on the defense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I know I like seeing buckets get game, but I'm like, bro, I like competition too. Like, let them get, like, they need, like, the defender needs protection too. Like, we just can't have all offense all the time.
Agreed.
Like, cause that ain't good. I like to see that balance. And bro, thank God they about to get rid of that because that's the cheapest way to get a foul on people.
Cheapest thing ever. We gotta talk about your mans. We gotta talk about your man's Paul Pierce. We gotta talk about your man Paul Pierce.
Hey man, a man can't enjoy his day off, bro. That's all I be saying.
I wouldn't want to work there either. Like I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to show. You know what I'm saying? Some of the homies they ain't answer on the text, so I gotta get on Instagram and show them. You know what I mean? Like
I'm at home. We chilling. We vibing.
And another thing, if Paul Pierce was just trying, we'll chalk it up to Paul Pierce being an older cat, right? Let's just say he was trying to record this for his close friends. And by the time he already had the camera up and then he realized it was live, it may have been a little too late. However, to the good people on Instagram, let's make a live feature for your close friends. Let's try that. Let's see how that goes, and then things may go over a bit better. However, Paul Pierce, you wildin'. Like, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a Disney job, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know they ain't going for that. You know Walt not going for that. Come on, bro.
Right. And plus, Paul, you're 43. You're 43, Paul. You got too much bread to be just. You 43, Paul. Just be 43. You ain't gotta be on the ground flexing, showing what you got going on. People know what you capable of. You ain't gotta show everything to everybody. But hey, I mean, he like he said, he not married. He's still young. He feel like so he about to show y'all that what he working with out here in these LA streets.
In these LA COVID streets.
Right.
So Paul, if y'all don't know what's going on with Paul Pierce, he was hosting a poker night, let's just say game night. He had some beautiful women dancing in bikinis, in bikinis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trees were being smoked. Fades were given out, not with the hands, but Paul Pierce was actually getting lined up, and I seen like a clipper case and like some edges, everything in the tuck. It's game night. I get it.
Right.
If y'all knew the things that go on at other people's game nights, y'all wouldn't be tripping about this. However, since it's Paul Pierce, he got caught. It's on camera. You did it to yourself, my brother. Maybe he didn't want the job, and maybe he was looking for to collect some type of unemployment. So, I mean, hey, who am I? You know what I'm saying? So Paul Pierce, he got let go by ESPN. Some company offered him a job like immediately, like 24 hours later. They were like, yo, like you can do this, come sign with us and we'll pay you X amount of dollars. And it's like,
right.
And I think that was just a kind of thing so he could kind of get away. So that was Paul Pierce. And did you happen to see the Space Jam trailer at all, since it is basketball related?
Yeah, I seen it.
What are your thoughts? Because I haven't seen it at all, but I saw everybody like killed it on the internet like 20 minutes after it rolled out. Like people were angry on the Saturday when that was.
Because all the people we probably follow on Twitter around our age, so we remember the original Space Jam, and everybody around our age, the Jordan heads, Jordan, Kobe heads, so they don't, anything LeBron does, it's kind of like, oh, it's not the original. He's trying to be like Jordan. I'm like, dude, the dude just wanted to remake a movie, a cartoon movie about him playing basketball. From the trailer, the acting, I mean, hey, he could use some work on that, but Jordan, his acting wasn't much better than his. They had some of the little similar stuff, they still got all the little Looney Tunes. They added the little extra new technology stuff to it to make it look, more I guess more appeasing to the eye now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch it. I ain't gonna lie. I just didn't like the acting LeBron did, but I'm like, I'm gonna watch it just to check it out. I mean, just the movie. It ain't nothing too serious. Right. And I mean, yeah, it ain't the original. Just a movie. It's LeBron. LeBron, black man, trying to make $1. I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch the movie. I didn't get a chance to see the trailer. The movie comes out July 16th. I'm pretty sure this. I don't know. I read somewhere a couple weeks ago that they're trying to bring movie theaters back. I know before I left town not too long ago, they had this big like vent thing coming out of the movie theater. So I guess they're trying to sterilize or clean the air or clean the ducts or something. I'm not sure. But so this may be a part of that big movie wave for the summer. But regardless, I'm pretty sure it's going to be available on those streaming platforms. I'm not going to say any names until they cut the check. So just go. Y'all just have to wait until then, to where it's released. And last but not least, yesterday the Minnesota, the Minnesota Timberwolves sold to Alex Rodriguez and businessman Mark Lore. They sold to Alex Rodriguez and to Mark Lore for a reported $1.5 billion with a B, $1.5 billion. Alex Rodriguez, former baseball player with the Mariners. I think he played for the Rangers for a moment, but mostly known with the Mariners and the Yankees, and his alleged steroid use. So That is Alex Rodriguez. A little bit of background if you're asking who in the hell is Mark Lore. He is a businessman. He has ties to Walmart. He has ties to jet.com. And he also has some ties to diapers.com. I'll let you guys kind of check those out and see what he's into, but he is a businessman. The reason why this is news to me and to Tevin as well is because a couple months ago, let's just say at the top of the year, Kevin Garnett made headlines because he felt, how can I say, what's the right word? I don't want to say backstab. I don't want to say
guilty. We'll say guilty.
There we go. So Kevin Garnett, he did feel some kind of way whenever the current owners of the Wolves didn't sell to him when he is their best player in franchise history under the Timberwolves imprint. So Kevin Garnett felt some type of way. He went on an Instagram kind of tirade where he posted some things. And what I love about KG is he kept a hood. Like he spelled everything hood. Like we were texting back in like 2000, like 2007. You know what I'm saying? Like he had every word,
Right.
cuss word, like shortened word, just shortened. He kept it G. And later on, of course, more is always revealed. I see why Kevin Garnett is upset because you sell it to a baseball player and not to the best player in franchise history. So I do understand.
Right. But you know why A-Rod is probably trying to get this team though, because he's looking at the future of where Minnesota probably could go. Well, probably as far as talent-wise on the team's talented, but the city, I don't think the city's really behind the team that much anymore, like how they used to be, because number one, they haven't won in forever, and ownership has been doing terrible. So I think he's trying to uproot them to make a big move in Seattle. Especially they got 2 years to do 2 or 3 years to do it before the ownership takes over. So I think that might be their game plan. Move to Seattle. You got the whatever they got going on over Seattle, especially like with all the tech and stuff like this. So they about to have a booming arena over there. Only team in Seattle. Seattle been waiting for a team for years. The Clippers didn't make that genius move of just leaving California, going up north a little bit to make all that money. But hey, that's on them. A-Rod said, I'm about to get that bag. So if y'all don't want it, I'm gonna go get it. So and I don't blame him because I mean, hey, it's out there to get God. I hate that Kevin Garnett couldn't get the team. Maybe let me get a piece of that. Who knows? Maybe he should try that because I know that's one thing he always has wanted to do with his money is get him a team. So shoot, maybe once LeBron retires, maybe he can get with him and they can buy them a team. Shoot, start their own league. How about that?
I do like.
But yeah, man, I don't have no problem with everybody money and trying to get back to that Seattle area.
Yeah, if that is the move for A-Rod, I do appreciate that because Seattle, they definitely do deserve a team. They were robbed of not seeing KD and Russ and James Harden be together. They just been robbed. Like whenever New Orleans had to leave post Katrina, they went to Oklahoma. That kind of sprung them into Seattle's not doing right. Let's just move a team to Oklahoma. Like, so that was that kind of thing. And Seattle, they just got I think next year their hockey team, their NHL team, takes the ice for the first time, and they built an arena for them. So
yeah, okay.
So they have everything besides the NBA team. They have a WNBA, NFL team, hockey team, football team. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't say the Seahawks already.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like they pretty much have everything, and plus it's an important market. It's Portland and Seattle up there in the Northwest. You know what I'm saying? Like in that corner of the country. So you got to have some type of representation. So.
And they had an NBA team. We saw what they did with it. They supported it all of year. So I don't understand why. I don't know. I need to look that up. How the heck did they get from Seattle to Oklahoma City?
Right. When the owner of Starbucks could have easily stepped in, and because Starbucks comes from, I believe like the owner, he's from like up there or something like that. And the owner could have easily stepped in and be like, yo, I'll put $300 million on it. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
this is a lot of money in Seattle. I don't understand how in the world they let their team get to.
leave the city.
I'll do some research. We'll find it out.
Yeah, most definitely, for real though, because Seattle definitely deserves a team. We saw it. Rashard Lewis was on the team. Ray Allen was on the team. Luke Renard was on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like Gary Payton, Sean Kemp. They have finals history.
Right.
To that franchise. So
they won a championship in the 70s.
Right. You know what I'm saying? People champion everybody else's old championships. So I mean, you gotta get them their flowers too. So I mean, Seattle definitely deserves a team. I wish it was, more that the NBA could do, but hopefully that's a part of the NBA's expansion plan with adding Seattle, giving Seattle their team, and eventually putting a team in Vegas.
And I think I even heard that they probably even want to bring. I think they wanted to bring Vancouver back, from what I heard.
I would love that.
Yeah, I think they wanted 2 teams in Canada. I believe so. I think they're gonna try to do that again.
I would love that. Canadian fans actually wild out.
Wait till we get that Mexico team though.
It's coming. That's definitely coming.
Hey, I'm with it.
Oh, absolutely. You sleep. You sleep. They put a team in Mexico City. I'm there.
Like them games gonna be like no other game we ever seen before.
Yeah. And then just one last little note there. The NBA, they are looking to restart overseas play. To your point about Mexico, and NBA adding a team in Mexico, they're looking to restart overseas play like in Mexico, like in Canada, because the Raptors are playing in Tampa this year. And
yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're playing in Tampa this year, and so
that's
they're looking. Yeah, they're not home. So the NBA, they're looking to restart their overseas play. They were looking into having some type of play in Asia, and then if you remember last season, that's whenever Daryl Morey had all that to say about their government, and that kind of threw that relationship off a little bit. But the NBA, they're also looking into developing leagues in like Africa and the Middle East, and also in South America as well. So it's beautiful. The game is global as it could ever be. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely thankful, and hopefully next year, whenever society gets back to a bit of a normal kind of thing, we can, all get back to regular life and enjoy everything from full arenas to over expensive burgers. You know what I'm saying? Like overpriced burgers in the arena. So yeah, man. T, you got anything else? Right. Anything else on your mind here before we go ahead and wrap up?
No, I'm just trying to see how these last 20 games gonna play out, and who's gonna step up, who's gonna shrink, who's gonna come back from injury, who's gonna get injured. Yeah, it's a lot that can happen these last 20 games. So I'm just ready for the playoffs to get here. I need to see I need to see my boy Bron. I need to see him in the playoffs again and see if he can. If he gets there against the Nets and he beats them, he might go. I'm putting it down. I'm taking Jordan down. I'm putting up my poster of Bron. I might even buy the shoes.
There you go.
No matter how heavy, I might buy them.
Wow, LeBron's so heavy. Whoa, why?
Bro, them shoes.
Those shoes are ankle weights.
God, you was on LeBron. Your calf ain't no more. You don't need to do no more calf raises. They gonna get you right just by walking.
Yeah.
That's an extra 8 pounds per foot.
That's it every time. Well, this is the Perspective Podcast. This is my co-host, Tevin. Y'all make sure y'all hit him up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those socials that he uses. All that information can be found down below. Also, y'all keep in mind that the hat store remains open. Last time I said the website name completely wrong, so I'm gonna make sure I say it correct this time. The website name, it is finessensense93.com. We have I have my new merchandise out right now, which is of course still hats. I got some face masks out too. We're getting ready to roll into the summertime, so you guys will see a bit more different items and things of that nature. I am once again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in wherever y'all tune in, YouTube, uh, YouTube, whether if you're listening to it on your audio, whether it's Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to. I appreciate y'all for tapping in and checking us out for a few minutes. Until next time, y'all, we will be back next month. We'll be back around the time that the playing games start. So we'll be able to kind of check in and give y'all a brief update, things that we think are going on here. And so until next time, y'all, I appreciate y'all. Peace.